Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Jonathan Kuminga doesn't want to stay with the Warriors, and the Miami Heat have already expressed interest in him. Therefore, the Warriors could offer a Kuminga-centric package to bring Andrew Wiggins back home and pursue another championship. Andrew Wiggins would be a perfect fit for the Warriors' current roster. After giving him up to acquire Butler, the team is missing a third offensive and defensive option. Jonathan Kuminga showed potential, especially in the playoffs, but he's still trying to define his role and harbors ambitions to become an all-star, something that could affect his fit alongside Curry and Butler. Wiggins, on the other hand, already knows his role as a veteran, is a better catch-and-shoot player, and is more consistent defensively than Kuminga. This could result in a starting five of Stephen Curry, Wiggins, Butler, Draymond Green, and Al Horford, a veteran team with a high basketball IQ. Andrew Wiggins played a vital role on the 2022 champion team and is beloved by the organization and his former teammates. Financially, his deal had to be included in the move to add Jimmy Butler, but the franchise would certainly welcome a reunion if it came to pass. If Kuminga returns on a tradable contract, Wiggins would be one of the players that Mike Dunleavy targets as a deadline acquisition. Warriors just pulled off their biggest heist of the offseason. The Warriors finally got their man. The Golden State Warriors finally agreed to a multi-year contract with Al Horford on the eve of training camp. The move had been rumored for months, but Golden State was letting the Jonathan Kuminga drama unfold. The five-time All-Star gives the Dubs a new look and takes pressure off Draymond Green playing the five. This signing is a potential game-changer for the franchise. Horford is a stretch five capable of protecting the rim and shooting over 40% from three-point range. His high basketball IQ and versatility should complement Golden State well. He can play the four or the five. The Warriors needed someone capable of protecting the rim and switching onto the perimeter if necessary. Horford is declining, but this could be a massive signing as the Dubs look to be a serious title contender. The biggest worry is his age. Horford is 39 and can't play massive minutes every night. Head coach Steve Kerr must work in rest and limit his playing time. The Warriors will likely increase his minutes in the postseason. Horford was the biggest game-changer still available, and the Warriors did well adding a new dimension when the games matter most. Warriors just pulled off an absolute heist. Horford was not returning to Boston as the Celtics were forced to trim payroll. They hope to dodge the luxury tax before the trade deadline and won't compete with Jason Tatum out. Horford is nearing the end of his career and can't afford to flush away a full season. The Warriors are all in on winning. They were elite after trading for Jimmy Butler, and who knows what would have happened if Stephen Curry hadn't suffered an injury in the second round of the playoffs. Horford is a proven championship performer who shines on the biggest stages. The Warriors are happy to have him, even at the end of his career. Horford averaged 9.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 0.9 blocks in 27.7 minutes per game last season. His shooting percentages were down, but it was a smaller sample. During his 4 seasons in Boston, Horford shot 38.8% from three-point range, including 2 seasons over 40%. He can stretch the floor, make plays, and offers defensive versatility. Celtics fans will tell you the big man played a key role in their success in recent years. The Golden State Warriors hope Al Horford still has a few elite years left. He could be the perfect fit next to Stephen Curry and gives them needed spacing with Jimmy Butler on their roster. Having a stretch five allows Draymond to play the four and gives everyone more space. This move could be exactly what the Warriors need to make a serious push. Fans should absolutely be excited, despite the Kuminga mess still looming. The Dubs can win it all, but it will take fortunate health from an aging roster. It is a massive if, but one the Warriors will take with Curry leading their charge. Fans will love Horford, and the Kuminga mess will quickly be sorted. Stay tuned for what promises to be another memorable season in the Bay Area. Stephen A. Smith reacts to Golden State Warriors signing Al Horford. He feels strongly. The Golden State Warriors finally made their first significant move of the offseason. Just one day before Media Day, Shams Charania announced that the Warriors signed Al Horford to a multi-year deal. Both sides are working through financial terms, with signing completion expected in the coming days following restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga's final decision. Horford is projected to become the Warriors' starting center next season after being their primary target since entering free agency in July. Stephen A. Smith highlights Al Horford's dual-threat ability despite advanced age. The signing generated excitement among analysts, including Stephen A. Smith, who believes Horford possesses the necessary skills to succeed in Golden State's system. This is a good damn pickup for the Warriors. The ageless Horford can still defend, can shoot, spread the floor, and it'll help Draymond Green. Love it, Smith wrote. Despite turning 38 years old, Horford's production last season demonstrated continued effectiveness as a center. He averaged 9.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, and shot 36% from three-point range. His three-point shooting represents crucial value for the Warriors, who need a big man capable of stretching the floor to create space for other players, particularly Stephen Curry's offensive versatility. Al Horford's intelligence makes him the perfect fit for the Warriors. Defensively, Horford forced opponents to shoot just 45.2% against him, indicating retained value as a rim protector despite potentially diminished lateral movement compared to previous seasons. His ability to defend multiple positions while providing floor spacing aligns perfectly with the Warriors' system requirements. The combination of shooting, defense, and basketball intelligence makes him an ideal complement to Draymond Green's skill set. The Warriors also reportedly agreed to bring back De'Anthony Melton, adding another familiar piece to their roster construction for next season. After helping Stephen Curry with Al Horford, Warriors reportedly secure a contract extension. The Golden State Warriors are providing Stephen Curry with support through Al Horford while moving to secure a contract extension for additional help ahead of the next NBA season. The Golden State Warriors are doing everything they can to secure the championship that Stephen Curry is chasing. Their focus is on immediate success rather than a long-term project, as shown by the recent report that Al Horford will sign with the Warriors. Now, they are just steps away from another key addition ahead of the next NBA season. According to ClutchPoint's Brett Siegel, the Warriors have agreed to terms with free agent guard De'Anthony Melton. His contract can be officially signed once Jonathan Kuminga finalizes his deal, a scenario similar to Horford's, which is expected by Wednesday at the latest. This move would bring Melton back to Golden State after he appeared in 6 games last year and was traded in the Dennis Schroeder deal. Even though he played just 6 games with the Warriors last season, Melton showed flashes of promise that should excite fans, especially coming off an ACL injury. In his final 2 games with Golden State, both as a starter, he averaged 16.5 points and 7.0 rebounds while shooting 50% from three-point range. The rumors intensified when Melton posted an Instagram story wearing a Warriors uniform with the caption "We not done," though it was deleted minutes later. It appears nearly certain that he will be part of the roster next season. Melton's numbers before the injury. Before going down, the versatile guard averaged 10.3 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game, contributing strong perimeter defense and secondary playmaking for Golden State. Despite interest from other teams, including the Los Angeles Lakers, Melton chose to stay with the Warriors as he continues his rehab and prepares for the 2025-26 NBA season. What Melton will bring. How the Warriors plan to use Melton remains to be seen, especially given the success Brandon Podziemski had at the end of last season when inserted into the starting lineup. Regardless, Golden State needed depth in the backcourt, and Melton provides exactly that, while adding pressure on Podziemski to compete for a spot in Coach Steve Kerr's rotation. More additions on the horizon for the Warriors? Reporting across multiple outlets links the Warriors to potential returns for Gary Payton II, as well as adding Seth Curry to join his brother. If both moves materialize, Golden State's backcourt rotation would be strong, with Stephen Curry as the clear starter and options including Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Melton, Payton II, and Moses Moody competing to start alongside him. Golden State agreed to terms with ex-Warriors guard De'Anthony Melton. The Western Conference was already expected to be extremely competitive heading into the offseason and looking toward the 2025-26 season. However, it's only gotten tougher, with the Los Angeles Clippers, Denver Nuggets, and Houston Rockets making major moves while the Portland Trail Blazers, Dallas Mavericks, and San Antonio Spurs all improved as well. During this offseason, the Golden State Warriors have been a team on the outside looking in. While they struck a trade deadline deal to land Jimmy Butler, they haven't done much outside of adding 2 rookies in the 2025 NBA draft. On Sunday, things changed as ESPN finally reported the agreement between Al Horford and the Warriors, and now another agreement has been reported. According to Clutch Point's Brett Siegel, the Warriors have agreed to terms with free agent guard DeAnthony Melton, as a contract can be signed once Jonathan Kuminga comes to terms on his deal, which should be Wednesday at the latest. This move will bring Melton back to the team after he appeared in 6 games last year and was dealt in the Dennis Schroeder trade. Even though it was just 6 games with Golden State last season, Melton did show some promise that should encourage Warriors fans despite him coming off an ACL injury. In his last 2 games with the Warriors, both as a starter, he averaged 16.5 points and 7.0 rebounds while shooting 50% from beyond the arc. There's no telling how the Warriors plan to use him, especially given the success Brandon Podziemski saw at the end of the season when inserted into the starting lineup. Regardless, the Warriors needed help with their guard depth, and Melton will provide just that. Should more agreements be coming? Based on the reporting, which has been consistent across multiple outlets, the Warriors have also been tied to Gary Payton II on a return deal, as well as bringing in Seth Curry to team up with his brother. If that's the case, then Golden State's backcourt rotation should be solidified. With Steph Curry as the obvious starter, they'll have a selection of Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Melton, Payton II, and Moses Moody to choose from to start alongside him. While the Warriors' rotation is starting to come around, the concern is about how late this is coming. With other rosters around the NBA having been set for weeks now, if not months, this Warriors team will have to work quickly with opening night right around the corner on October 21st. Celtics lose veteran leader to West Coast rival. After months of speculation, Al Horford has officially left the Boston Celtics and committed to a multi-year deal with the Golden State Warriors. Horford was a core part of Joe Mazzulla's championship-winning roster in 2024. Horford becomes the 4th member of that championship team to lead the TD Garden this summer. He joins Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Luke Kornet, all of whom left via trade or free agency. After spending 7 of the past 9 years with the Boston Celtics, including their 2023-24 NBA championship season, Horford enters his 19th year in the league as the Warriors' new starting center, ESPN's Shams Charania wrote. Horford verbally committed to the Warriors on Sunday, sources said. The sides are working through the final financial terms, with a signing in the coming days after the final decision from restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, a source said. Horford suited up for 60 games last season, averaging 9 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists. However, it's his leadership, defensive versatility, and glue guy skill set that will be missed by the Celtics. Of course, the fan base will undoubtedly understand Horford's reasoning for moving to the Bay Area, as he continues to seek out opportunities to contend for a championship. Horford is yet to sign his contract with the Warriors. That will likely take place after a resolution to the Jonathan Kuminga standoff has been found. Celtics front court is a major issue. Horford's departure confirms what many Celtics fans already knew: the front court is going to be a rough watch in the upcoming season. Neemias Queta, who was the 4th-string center last season, will now step into a starting role. Luka Garza, Chris Boucher, and Xavier Tillman Sr. will provide competition for minutes, and potentially for Queta's starting spot. Nevertheless, there has been a serious talent drain at the forward and center positions. Not only will the offense suffer, but the defense could become nearly porous. Joe Mazzulla will undoubtedly need to implement new offensive and defensive systems to get the best out of his young and inexperienced roster. Furthermore, he may need to simplify the defensive principles to ensure the current rotation can execute at a consistently high level. Celtics not operating with a tax goal in mind. Brad Stevens started the summer with a difficult task. Following Jason Tatum's Achilles tendon tear, it made no sense to keep a roster together that would cost almost $500 million in payroll and taxes. Through multiple moves, Boston is now firmly under the second luxury tax apron and could yet drop out of the luxury tax completely. Of course, those moves, when coupled with a change in ownership, generated some concerns among the fanbase. However, Stevens looked to ease those worries during a recent news conference. "We're looking at it from the standpoint of, let's see what this team looks like," Stevens said. "Let's put our very best foot forward, we'll evaluate the roster like we always will as the year goes on. But there's no tax goal. There's nothing that's set in stone that we have to get to a certain level. The level, obviously, where we were earlier this summer, that's not close to where we are now. And listen, we've said goodbye to awesome people and really good players. But I think we've added people who are excited to add their strings together and see what we can do." So, while the Celtics losing Horford will undoubtedly hurt, the fan base can rest assured that Stevens will have the green light to spend when the time is right. However, at present, the most logical move is to reset the rotation and begin adding exciting young talent around the core of Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White. How things play out from there will remain a mystery, for now.